What's up, everyone? So today we're going to be installing the automated tailgate with soft close on my M6, and this is possible for any 6 Series car from the F series. So right now when you press the trunk button, it doesn't open up, and actually it's supposed to pop open by itself even though it doesn't have the automated system. So basically it needs a little help, and then it works. That's because the struts are worn, and new struts are $155, and I found this online and I messaged the seller. They're from Korea. I'll put a link in the description on where to order this, but let's open this up, shall we? So here we have some wires. This is the new trunk button, so there's 2 buttons instead of 1. We have a bolt. This is the, we'll go over that in a sec. Here, this is the control box. We have the double-sided tape. This is a motor that connects to the mechanism right here. Have some more wires here with some zip ties. Nice, zip ties are included. Have a little wire right here. And then this is the strut. So because this part's from Korea, the instruction manual is in Korean, and 저 한글 많이 쓰레기요. So I went ahead and converted it to English. I'll put the English manual in the description, but you have this video, so that's even better. First, we're going to go ahead and take off the trim panel right here. First, we're going to go ahead and take off all these to remove this trim cover right here. Alright, so to remove this, you want to get a screwdriver and just loosen this a bit so that you get some grip. Then you're going to need a tool like this, and you're just going to bring it up like that, and that's it. So we're going to do this for this. Yeah, there's a lot. It doesn't take too long though. So we'll come back when we remove this. So right up here, there is another one, and same with the other side over here. So on 2 sides, there's more, and then here we have a Torx screw on each side, so get those out too. Once you removed everything including this, it should come right down like that. So be careful because we need to disconnect the wire here and the one here. Alright, so we have this trim cover removed now, and next we need to remove this right side trim cover next. So let's remove this next. Alright, so next we're going to lift this little piece up and just remove this whole thing right here so that we can see that. Alright, so next there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and basically we need to remove these so that we can remove this plastic cover. So you're just gonna remove them slowly. Next, once you remove this part, you're gonna go ahead and pop off this. So you're just gonna go ahead and pop it out. And now this side is loose. Okay, so to remove these, you need to unscrew them. It's kind of a pain to get it to start. There's these little grooves, so I wouldn't recommend using a screwdriver unless you want to scratch up your car like I did. But yeah, you just unscrew them to get these off. Okay, there we go. Alright, so now with this removed, this piece should just be as simple as lifting it up, and it is. Alright, so next I'm just going to remove this just to make life a little easier. There we go, got that out. Alright, so we have this here, I believe we also need to remove these big ones here, and then there's one up here. I believe that might be it, so let's first do those. Alright, so this is the original strut. I don't have the Torx to remove this panel, so we're gonna remove this. I'm gonna wait to remove it first, but because they said to replace the strut last. So up here, so we're gonna remove this screw on each side. Alright, so we loosen this up, but the issue is the wire we need is right here on the side, and the only way to access it really, so this is the wire right here, and the only way we're probably going to access it is removing this module. So I believe it's 1, 2, 3, 4 screws, I believe, to remove this module. So this is the camera module. We just removed it by removing the screws I showed you guys earlier, and now we have access to this much easier. So we're going to plug this in. Okay, so now this is plugged in. This is now plugged in. right here. And then we plugged it in up here. So then this wire, which was originally hooked up to it directly, will go in here like this. Okay, so now this is back. This is the extra. So now we're going to put the module back in, put the screws back in. Alright, so now we're just going to go ahead and put these screws back in, just so we don't have to worry about this. So I'm going to lightly tighten this, just to make sure that this is where it's supposed to be. Alright, and then just make sure everything's aligned and it should be fine. Alright, so this one will connect to this. They're color coded so you can see, like this. And this is supposed to connect to the original button that was here, and this will connect to the new button. So we're gonna leave these wires here, and I'm just gonna have to find a way to bring them here like this. Alright everyone, so what I've gone ahead and done is I've got a little wire here. It's kind of like a snake, and we're gonna basically feed this through like this. I don't know if it's gonna work actually, but let's hope it does. Alright, so next you want to mark the outline of this, just so that you know where the latch is supposed to go, the new latch. Unfortunately I have a crappy Expo marker, so it's hard to tell, but yeah. Alright, so we removed the two main ones first, so that this is here, and I put them back in, because if you remove all three, the whole bracket will just fall back in. So make sure that you don't remove all three at the same time. So now we're going to hold this. I'm holding this one right here while undoing the last one, just so that the bracket doesn't, back bracket doesn't fall. Okay, that's it. So now, I'm just gonna go ahead and connect the bottom screw in, so the bracket doesn't fall. Okay, so this is the new bracket. It only requires two, unlike the other one, and it's gonna go right here. Just make sure you align it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and install this now, and we'll be back when it's installed. Okay, so we're gonna remove the strut. Make sure someone's holding the trunk while you do this, and basically there's these clips right here. Okay, as you can see, that's the clip. You just lift it up, and then once the clip's lifted up, this just comes right off, and we're gonna do the same on the other side over there. Okay, so what you're gonna do is this clip right here, you're just gonna go ahead and undo it just like the other ones. And then once it's loosened and undone, once it's loose, we're gonna stick it into the thing. Alright, so the strut is installed. So now we're just gonna connect all the wiring, and then it's pretty dark here, so we're gonna come back probably in the morning to do the rest. But let's hook up the wiring and test to see if this even works first. Negative terminal right there, and then the positive, you can use any of these. I'm just gonna use whichever one fits the socket, so maybe this one. I think that one fits the socket. Yeah, we'll probably use that one. Okay, so we're gonna connect these wires. So this one right here goes to the negative, and then the positive, there's an adapter, so the adapter connects to this. So let me show you guys. So this is the adapter. This will hook up to the positive, and then this right here will hook up to the red right here, like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this next. Alright, so there's a tab here on each side, and you're just gonna push it in, and then push it down. Same here, the tab on this side as well. Just push it down and it comes out. Now make sure you check which orientation it's in, so when you put the new one in, it's in the right orientation. So keep this, because we're actually going to need to keep this connected in the future. I'll explain that in a second. Just put the wire through, and then just gonna stick this in there like this. Alright, so it's a mess right now, but everything's connected, so we're going to go ahead and test this. The control module is on the right side, so let me press this button and see if it closes, and looks like it closes by itself, and the soft close is working as well. So I'm going to go ahead and close everything off, put everything back together. So now that here we have everything pretty much back together, everything's nice and neat. The control module is behind the little black compartment on the right side there. And here the wires are all zip tied, so I zip tied everything. And this green module here is the original lock button, and it has to stay connected. And then everything else is pretty much zip tied, so it's good to go. Let's put it back. One thing I need to mention is pressing the lock button doesn't do anything, so you can't lock the car through the trunk. You have to press the trunk button, which closes it. And then if you want to lock the car, you have to use your remote to lock it, unfortunately. Alright, so I put the instruction manual in the description, and I'll also put a link to the YouTuber that I contacted to get this trunk kit. It comes from Korea, so I paid around $735, but the price will vary depending on where you live because shipping was nearly $100 for California, where I live. So, yeah. And the manual is in English. I'll also post the Korean manual as well if you happen to speak Korean. And I honestly, I think it's worth it just because I use this a lot on the 7 series, and not having it on the 6 series was kind of annoying. I really find it weird that the 5 and the 7 series got this, but the 6 series didn't get this. Oh, and like I said earlier, you can't press the lock button. It doesn't work. So maybe if someone wants to mod, somewhere here and put the old button, you can probably still lock it. I don't know why it doesn't work. The seller says it's not supposed to work, so that's probably one of the issues. But other than that, it works really well and looks pretty cool. Soft close as well. Nice. Alright, be sure to subscribe and I'll see you on the next one.